So there's different kits and different ways that you can make power. You can go naturally aspirated, which is what I'm doing, which can get you around like 400 to 500 horsepower. It's something that I recommend, especially starting like new. But you can also move up to centrifugal superchargers. You can go to like turbos, such as like the on 3 kits, or you can go like twin turbo, like the Helion like twin turbo kit, or you can just go with any other different ones. Okay, let's try this out. Let's see how this goes. I feel like naturally aspirated going NA is the right setup for me, at least for now, because being NA like get you at least like 450 horsepower, and for a car like this, it's really all you need for like the street, if that makes sense. Like for me, at least here like in Minnesota, like all you really need is like NA, because you know you have a lot of the turbo cars, at least here like where I live, is like on Subarus and you know like those smaller cars like Civics. Like you don't really see them on like Chargers or Mustangs, Camaros. At least once you go up to the cities, then you'll start seeing more of that. But at least here for me, comfortably, I love my NA setup, and it's something that I recommend, especially like if you're starting out like modifying cars and anything. Now the weight of these cars, now for these Mustangs, they're considered pony cars because they're a lot smaller, they're more compact, if that makes sense. And it means that they weigh a lot more than like the competitive cars like, you know, Dodge, the Charger, the Challenger, you know, Camaros even. You know, Camaros are pretty heavy, and you have that advantage, is why I would recommend going NA to start off, because these cars are very light, and with all that power, I mean, you're just, you know. But it's also like a huge advantage when it comes to like, you know, like drag racing. It's a huge advantage, because you know you have that. You don't have to worry so much about, oh, I have to take off this weight, I have to take off the panels, all of this. You're able to at least have an advantage, like stock for stock, like vehicles, like with a smaller car, a pony car, compared to like the boats, like the Charger, the Challenger, or like I said, the Camaros, the SS's, like especially the 12 to like 15s, or even like all of them, they're pretty heavy compared to these. Just talking, like, this is my opinion, this is the information that I know, that I've gathered. I have an NA car, so I'm able to talk about NA like Mustangs and how it's benefited me, and how it could benefit you if you're looking into doing something like NA, or even just owning a Mustang, whether it's a, you know, a 1st to 4th gen or a 5th through even 7th, you know. Now when it comes to the aftermarket support, oh wait, I just needed to make sure it was recording. But for the aftermarket support, there's a lot of different kits that you can buy. You know, whether you're going NA, you know, there's different manifolds that you can buy, different injectors, different exhausts, you know, you can buy even different spark plugs. Anything like the aftermarket support for these vehicles are so big, so vast. Whether, you know, you want to go for whatever setup, whether you want to go for a drag, like they have different kits. Even if you want to go for like a show car, They have air suspension. They got like some crazy wide body kits that you can install on these S197s or on any of these Mustangs, really. Even when it comes to regular maintenance, like I know with these Mustangs, a lot of the problems are the fuel inlet, like the neck of it. I'll show like a picture like right here. But with parts like that, whether it's maintenance wise or, you know, like an AC actuator, you can find many of the parts for really cheap, very fast. Like whether it's at your local AutoZone or like any like auto shop or eBay or even like the actual like Ford website, they sell the parts, the OEM parts, they sell them even from like the Fox bodies, I believe. Like you can still easily find the parts that you need for your Mustang, and that's a really good thing, especially since, you know, these cars are getting a lot older. Now when you modify these vehicles, it is, I'm not sure how it is with like the LS platform or any of the other platforms, but for like the Mustang specifically, like these are probably like one of the easiest that I've ever worked on, really. Like I don't think there's ever been like an easier, like I've had a BMW, I've had these other vehicles, but when it came to actually modifying, like it took a bit, like, you know, when it comes to like looking up on YouTube and, you know, seeing like what tools you need, what exactly you're going to be taking out, what exactly you're going to be putting in. But as soon as you figured all that out and once you actually start doing it, like it came very easy, especially like when the manifolds and actually taking apart like stuff from the engine, not just like, oh, like a simple intake, but like other parts like, you know, coil packs, even spark plugs or drive shafts. Like the simplicity that I've had with this platform has been really good. Having a good weekend so far. Right now I'm recording this on a Saturday, so, and it is 50 degrees here. Very nice day out. It snowed like a couple days ago, but melted pretty recently, so it's been nothing but good weather so far. But yeah, so moving on, I'm gonna talk about like the price on these vehicles. Is you can find a pretty decent mile V8 2011 or S187, like from a 11 to 14. Those are the ones that I'm specifically going to talk about. You can find like a pretty decent mild one for around 13 to 18,000, like wherever you're, especially like where you're living. Like I know more down in the south the prices get a lot lower, which is better, but up here is kind of a bit higher, but still just the prices on these compared to like, you know, like a Scat Pack. You know, Scat Packs are like what, 30 to 40,000 used, depending on the miles, you know, or even like a salvage one, or even a Camaro. You know, you see the the SS Camaros, and they are like what, around 20 and up, like for a pretty decent good V8 car. You know, you can find these S197s very good, and like the same amount that you're gonna either spend putting a supercharger turbo kit. Those are like what, let's say you drop in 10,000, whether you do it yourself, 10,000 labor, I'm not sure for most shops, but let's say like, I don't know, like another 7 grand, you know, you're already spending like what, 40,000 around there, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more around there. I'm not good with math. Math isn't really my best subject, but for the price, and you know, from the things I've said, which includes like the power that you can make, the support that you have with these cars, the actual like stuff that you can find, like parts wise, like you can just find so much for with these, and like how easy it is to modify these vehicles, and the routes that you can go with these Mustangs are pretty much endless. What you think? Do you think like I'm onto something? Do you think I'm right? What are some things that you would have liked me to add on here or talk about? Or what other vehicles would you like me to do?